Hello and welcome to the Front Office Podcast. I'm your host, Marcus Cameron. And as always, the show is sponsored by Tees and Trees Clothing. Tees and Trees is where we stand on business. It's been a long week. It's only Wednesday. What's going on? Hope everybody's doing well, blessed, all that good stuff, man. Pretty good day today. Got to play hooky from work. Played 18 holes of golf with my man Fred and Harold, Night Shift Ned. Shout out to them. Completely dominated them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm on my Kobe shit right now with that golf right now. So, any takers, Khaled, anybody want to, you know what I mean? We can do that. But let's get to the NBA playoffs, man. Y'all know it's our time of year. It's time of year where we really get to break down teams, players. It's a little bit more nitpicking. Everything is out in the open. So everybody's played 2 games. Currently, the Thunder is just ending the third quarter. I think they were up 90-73. They might have scored. I'm not looking at the TV. But yeah, that one's pretty much over with. So we're gonna just assume, unless they have a epic comeback, that the Thunder are gonna go up 2-0. Okay. So in the Western Conference, you got the Mavs and the Clippers. That's tied 1-1. You got Denver and the Lakers. Denver's up 2-0 after that miraculous shot by Jamal Murray. Amazing shot. And then you got the Timberwolves are up 2-0 on the Phoenix Suns. Everybody's changing location. East Coast, same rundown. Magic down 2-0 to the Cleveland Cavaliers. They'll be playing them in Orlando. I forget the date. But, everybody's venues change so we can kind of get a good estimate of the teams. The Bucks and the Pacers are 1-1. Boston just shit the bed tonight and lost to the Heat without Jimmy Butler at home, in Boston fashion. And this is why people talk shit about the Boston Celtics and don't think they can do it, is because you go out there and you lay eggs like that. But regardless, 1-1. And what's the last? Oh, Philly is down 2-0 to the Knicks. Shout out to the Knicks. I've been picking against the Knicks, man. They've been making me look real stupid. Yeah. Shout out to the Knicks fans, man. Carlos, Kenneth, Ken, Chewy. Yeah, them the only Knicks fans I know. But yeah, I know it's a lot of y'all out there, man. Y'all look good. Jalen not playing great, but matter of fact, let's just start with that series. Just a quick breakdown of what I see. The scary thing for Philly is that Jalen Brunson hasn't had a Jalen Brunson game in that series. They're going to play better because they're changing location. Their role players will be better. Oubre will be better. Tobias Harris will be better. Everybody on that Philly team will shoot the ball better and they'll be more aggressive. But the Knicks have been manufacturing wins without their star player playing like a star. I mean, he's had some bad shooting nights, hit some big shots, and not turning the ball over or anything like that. But, I mean, still yet, that should scare Philly fans. I definitely picked Philly to win that series. So I'm hoping Embiid can go and be the MVP that he is in these 2 games and at least get it tied up. The Milwaukee and the Indiana series, I said from the get-go was going to be tough to judge just because both of those teams play Jekyll and Hyde, and it's not a sure shot. Now, Milwaukee is down their best player without Giannis, but Dame has been playing well, kind of disappearing in the second halves, especially game 2. I was a little disappointed by that, but shout out to Indiana. They took that punch in game 1 and came back and threw another one, and threw a punch of their own in game 2. So you gotta pay attention to the young Pacers. I picked the Bucks in that series too. So it can be scary going back to somebody else's home 1-1, and they can possibly go up 3-1 on you because they got home court. The Magic and the Cavs are just a little too much for that young team right now. I think they'll play better in game 3. I think they'll either win game 3 or game 4 and extend the series to 5. I don't think they get swept, but just a little bit too much for them right now. Donovan's been fabulous. He looks like Donovan Mitchell back in Utah right now. LeVert's been great off the bench. Jared Allen has been a monster down low. What's my man name? Evan Mobley looks good. Struess playing great defense. They give him Paolo Banchero a lot of different looks, so he's not able to kind of get to his spots all the time. But Yeah, I get a Magic one game, either game 3 or game 4, and that one's over with. The Boston and Miami series should be a sweep, but shout out to Miami. I gave them a game. I gave them a game, and I think I might have gave them 2, but I gave them a game just because of what they do over there as far as culture. And everybody's like, oh, what's the Heat culture? It's good coaching, it's good personnel in the front office, it's good scouts, it's good assistant coaches, it's good GMs. That's a culture. OKC has the same kind of culture. The San Antonio Spurs have the same kind of culture. Go Google the OKC Thunder's coach and look at his path to the NBA. This guy didn't play a single second of college basketball. Team manager for Jim Calhoun, gets an assistant position. Still in school, goes to Florida. Holy Cross, and enrolled in Florida. Coached at Holy Cross and enrolled in Florida. While coaching over there at Holy Cross, he gets the job as the assistant coach to Billy Donovan. We all know Billy Donovan coached the OKC Thunder. He's coaching the Chicago Bulls right now. Guess who's the lead man in charge over there with the Thunder? Head coach. That guy, Mark Daigneault. I know I'm probably mispronouncing that, so I apologize if he happens to be listening. But that's an amazing path to become an NBA coach. So, any young kids out there listening, man, you don't have to be on the court to be in the league. If you're a head coach in the league, you're in the league, bro. Like, players can say whatever you want. A coach is in the league, and I think he's got that position because he spent 5 years in the G League coaching all the younger guys. Pay attention to OKC. A lot of young guys. They respect what he's saying. They're not caring if he's got this 10 championship resume and all that. Listen, the Thunder and the Spurs and the Heat have probably the best organizations in basketball, period. Denver Nuggets too. Denver Nuggets for sure. They definitely have found some gems, made some great trades and things of that nature. But yeah, man, Boston really let me down tonight. I've been doing a little thing where I'm doing picks by game, even though if you watch the show, I gave my people for the series. So it don't really matter. You just kind of picking. It's just like playing prize picks, but it just ain't costing me no money. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. I think right now if OKC pulls this off, I'm 8-4 out of 12 games, which is pretty good. That's pretty good. That's a high percentage. So tune in on the Facebook page. That's where we drop it at on the Front Office Podcast. Like, subscribe, share. We appreciate all of it, man, for sure. My feelings on let's switch gears. Let's go over to the West Coast. The West Coast series, we just talked about the Thunder. They're handling business. New Orleans is a good team. They're missing Zion. They're missing a piece that really kind of makes them go a little bit. Ingram is a good player. He's just not hit that switch yet. I think the year he made the All-Star team, he was turned up. But you can't really fall off from that. You got different pieces and new emergent. Zion was more healthy this year, but in order for that team to be super successful, he has to be that same player with Zion on the court, and definitely has to be more of that when he's not on the court. And I just think right now he's not able to give it to him. But again, they're changing venue after the night. They're going to go back to New Orleans. I gave New Orleans one game, and I think the best shot they got is game 3. Go in there, do what they want. But, the problem with it is they have one of the worst home records in the NBA, which is the craziest fucking stat. Like, they're number 1 with wins on the road, but actually the worst team at home, which is pretty fucking bad. But we're going to say game 3. I'm not sold on that pick yet. Like I said, every day is different picks, and it's all on the Facebook page, The Front Office Podcast, so you got to check it out there. Timberwolves and Suns getting a little bit chippy. I can't lie to young teams. My homeboy Jizzle, who will join the show shortly. The young teams, I said to him, had to prove it to me. He was, telling me how chunky they look. That team they got great players. Those teams got great players, and he's right. Those guys have Minnesota gives you a different element defensively with Gobert and Cat. I'm not a big Cat fan, but he does do what he do, and he seems to kind of understand how the flow of things over there in Minnesota works, and I think he just tries to be the best outside of that. Doesn't work every night, but for sure they all know their roles. They're all comfortable with roles. Nas Reed just got 6 Man of the Year. I don't, you know what I mean? He's a finalist for 6 Man of the Year, I think. But they're a really good team, and they're beating up on Phoenix. Honestly, like those games haven't been close, and I'm not sure changing venue is going to. I picked this series to go 7, and unless Phoenix shows me some type of life, I don't see it happening. Phoenix's problem, me personally, no point guard is just going to kill them because you're asking, I said this on a previous episode, I don't know which one. You're asking one of those guys who is a natural born scorer to go and facilitate offense, and it just doesn't make sense to me. It's going to take away from they don't normally do this, so they are extending themselves. Can they play point guard? Of course they can. You know, these guys are world-class athletes. They can play damn near any position on the floor besides center and power forward, which requires a little bit more brute force, and for you to be a little bit taller or a little bit more, physically built. But other than that, 1 through 3 is really interchangeable. You know what I mean? Like, you can really kind of just put a guy wherever. Bradley Beal can absolutely play the 3. He can play small forward on any team. It works. But you got to give him the ball. He's got to be aggressive. KD's got to get the ball. He's got to be aggressive. Devin Booker is your number 1 option. He definitely has to get the ball, and he definitely has to be aggressive. It's not enough balls on the court. Pause. It's not enough basketballs on the court, man. And they're going to have to find something because it's looking ugly. But I do give them an opportunity to go home, play better. Role players will be better. Grayson Allen will be better. Eric Gordon will be better. They'll be better. All the way around. But Minnesota got a little dog in them. Anthony Edwards is definitely my new favorite player once LeBron James retires. I'm definitely on the Anthony Edwards train. I've been checking Anthony Edwards out, man. Anthony Edwards is that fucking dude. Like, for real. Like, I hate the Jordan comparison. Not because, don't compare him to Jordan, or Jordan, he's not, or, Jordan is not worthy of the comparison, anything like that. That's a compliment for sure. But let's let Anthony Edwards be Anthony Edwards. Let's see something different. Like, to me, that's my argument with the LeBron and the Jordan and the Kobe. Yeah, somebody's got to be the best of all time, but it's all about how you view the game. If you view the game as I'm going to shoot a bunch of shots, or, that's being a dog, is, coming down and shooting the ball and scoring the ball. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? No, I can't knock that. I can't knock that one bit. But don't argue with me about another guy being able to not come down and shoot the ball every time, make the right pass. He can defend everybody. IQ is through the roof. That's just as much dominant or being a dog as that guy. He's just shooting it all the time. That's not hard. That doesn't require a lot of intelligence. No offense to the guys who shoot, Kobe's and Jordan. Their offense, it was just a different mindset. And with that situation, I just, I never really understood it, the argument, but, it makes for good barbershop talk and podcast talk and shit like that. So it makes sense, but those guys need a real point guard to facilitate and get them easy buckets so they don't have to work so hard to generate offense. And that's not going to change between now and the time they get to Phoenix. Minnesota's definitely winning that series. The Clippers in the Mavs series is going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. Kawhi came back, and I think it kind of threw the rhythm off of the Clippers a little bit. I had picked Dallas to win game 2. I picked the Clippers to win game 1. I'm kind of perfect in that series, but I think it did throw the Clippers off a little bit, and it happens. The team gets into a rhythm where they're playing without a guy, and then you insert him back into the lineup, and you want him to be productive. So he's going to get his shots. He was rusty. That's all I'm gonna chalk it up to. Can they go into Dallas and win Game 3? Absolutely. Am I ready to make that pick yet? No. On the Dallas side of it, the fact that Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic are meshing well. Kyrie is being a real leader. I loved his press conference after the loss in Game 1. Just really letting, saying it. Like, we got guys who don't understand the playoff ramp up that you have to get. It's going to be more physical. They're not going to let anything, they're going to let a lot of stuff slide, and you're going to have to play through that. That's him being a leader. It's good to see after everything he's been through. It's impressive. Definitely rooting for him. But Dallas did what they needed to do. They stole the game. Now the Clippers got to do the same in order to keep the series going. I want my money, Jizzle, too. You don't forget, we got that money on that. The Lakers and the Nuggets. If you know me, man, you know I'm a big LeBron fan. So I'm riding with the Lakers. I picked the Lakers to actually win this series. 4-2. Lakers in 6. Boy, Jamal Murray had different plans for that fucking pick. The first game, I thought Denver walked them down in the third quarter. I thought they walked them down in the third quarter. They started getting to where they wanted to get to be able to distribute and get everybody going, and that crowd got going, and the Lakers just never recovered. Anthony Davis played a good game that first game. Good game. Not as good as Jokic, but it was a good game. LeBron played a good game. No D'Lo. D'Angelo Russell was missing. And, the internet, as the internet does, fried him. I even, had a little post about it, a nice little reel. Because I was like, what the hell? How you hit the most threes in Laker history in the season and just come out here and lay an egg? It happens, man. Because come Game 2, D'Lo was on it. He had a great game. I thought D'Lo was the key. I still think D'Lo was the key to the series. I thought the Lakers got everything that they needed to win that game in Game 2, and still found a way to lose. That if you're able to bounce back from that mentally, I think that shows the strength of your team. There's players on that Laker team that can bounce back for that. Can they bounce back as a team? Because LeBron is not going to beat Denver by itself. AD is not going to beat Denver by itself. LeBron and AD together is not going to beat Denver. Denver is the best team in the West. I don't care what the seeding says. They're the best. It's going to take a team effort, and D'Lo has to play exactly how he played in Denver, maybe a little bit better. Austin Reeves has to be better. Hachimura has to be better. They got all of this, but you got to find a way to stop letting them make those timely plays. A lot has been said about the coaching and doubling when Jokic, when the other guys didn't have it going, and doubling and things. It's easy to sit at a desk and criticize a coach for in-game decisions when you can just sit back and say, I would have did this. It's easy. Yeah, just be honest with you. Darvin Ham's not doing the best job in the world. Definitely not doing the worst. They got everything they needed. It just didn't work. And, it's been a lot said about, Joker cooking AD. Let's be real clear. AD has scored plus 30 and had double-digit rebounds in every game in this series. Clearly, he's going to need to do more, but that's not a guy who's getting cooked. He's not getting cooked. The Joker is outplaying him. He can do a few more things, but he's not cooking him. I very sorely doubt that. Hell, if Jamal Murray doesn't get going in that fourth quarter, that's the second consecutive game in which he would have been having a bad game. The Lakers need that. KCP didn't shoot the ball well, man, but he had a big dunk, I thought, in the second half that kind of got the team going. That team is more together right now. They won a championship. Of course they should be. Their pieces are clicking, and the Lakers do have to be perfect. Now, to the Lakers' credit, they get to go home. They get to go to L.A., and I'm not going to say it's a super advantage because Denver is a really, really good road team, but you have the crowd. The crowd can push you a little bit more. I don't think they need to change the process or whatever they're doing. Like what they were doing in game 2, and I know each game is different. What they were doing in game 2 worked for about 3.5 quarters. It worked for about 3.5 quarters. That's as good a plan as you had before. Stick with it, tweak, you know what I mean? Make a little change here and there. Don't go away from it. Whatever's going on, it's working. I'm hoping the Lakers can tie the series up. I would love for this series to go 7. I would love for that series to go 7. I would love for the Bucks and the Indiana series to go 7, and definitely the Timberwolves and the Suns series. I would love to go 7. So, but that's really all I had, man. You know, I'm gonna try to. It's a games every night until the first round is over. So I'm not gonna be able to do it every night. I've been on a health kick lately, so I definitely want to try to hit the bed and get into the gym. I had a cousin that passed away recently that was like my brother, my cousin Leland Cave, and he used to always tell me, man, you gotta take better care of yourself, man. And he did that. Unfortunately, he fell sick and he's no longer with us. But his words stuck with me, man. So I'm gonna try to do better. I encourage everybody else out there to do better. Do some research. Get on YouTube. Everything is not correct, but if you watch enough of it, you can filter through and find your process. So I'm going to sign off, man, but I'm going to try to get back with y'all. Let's see how the weekend play out. I'd love to see how the game 3s and 4s play out, and after game 3 and 4, I'll drop another episode. All right? Tees and Trees is the clothing line coming very, very soon. If you're a new subscriber, we appreciate you. Like, subscribe, share. Again, subscribers, y'all don't have to do that. That's a high moment. Don't worry about it. And that's it, man. This is your host, man, Marcus Cameron, Front Office Podcast. Peace.